Alright guys, really quick weekly update. Super sorry, it's very late. These updates are definitely not on time, not as prompt as they used to be. Anyway, it's been a really good busy week. Have a look at that, we've got some gloss in the side of the boat. Al has been working with us and polishing the side of the boat. And thanks to a good mate of mine, Jeremy, who's I would say the best detailer here on the Gold Coast, first mate detailing. He gave us some input on how to bring the gloss back into the paint, and it's about a 2 or 3 step, well, it's a 3-step process. And you can see we've got a bit of gloss back in, which is awesome. It's going to mean that, it's just easier to keep the boat clean and the water beads off, which is really nice. Sanded the copper coat on the float and still got polishing. We've only done really the port side and the inside of the bow here. But yeah, sanded the copper coat back here, and we'll be leaving it like that. It really needs to be stripped back properly, so when we get up to Asia in a couple of years, we will strip this right back to the hull, fair it, and we may even just top coat it. I may not copper coat it. Just because I think I mentioned in a video before, we do like a few days with one float out of the water, and then we lift the dinghy on the other side and the other float out of the water. So anyway, we'll see how we go. Really happy with the way it's come up though. Just sanded that with a bit of 180 and it's come up pretty nice. Yeah, there's been a lot going on. And it's really good because we're in the water. We go in the water on the 30th, and then hopefully probably about a week or 10 days hanging around just to make sure everything's all right, and then we're going to make our way north and get to the warmer weather, get out of this cold Gold Coast winter. You can see I got the prop on, put the prop on the other day, and just have a look how nicely that is folding. Yeah, awesome. That's how they should work. And yeah, super happy with that. These are a great prop, Slipstream. They're Australian, they're from Sydney. This is a stainless steel prop. And a lot of grub screws in the pin. When I first put this on in Costa Rica, obviously it was under the water. We couldn't haul the boat out, so I had to put it on under the water. I just hung a bucket off the back of the P bracket here, so underwater I had a bucket with all the bits in it, and then I built the prop, so if any bits fell they just landed in the bucket. And it's really nice to be able to put the prop on properly and to grease it all. It's going to be running a lot smoother now, and just look how easily it turns as well. You know, the coupling's not on yet, and the engine hasn't been aligned. That's going to happen tomorrow. But yeah, just look how easy it spins. There's no friction in any of the bearings, which is really good. And you can see the shaft just slides back out when I spin it. Yeah, super cool, super cool. Very happy with the way that's come up. And that should give us a lot smoother running. And the engine will have to work less friction, easier on the engine. And of course, you remember in the beginning of the refit, we beefed up the P bracket with some carbon, and so this should all be a lot stronger as well, more integral to the boat. But yeah, she's looking really good, really good. What else has been going on? Okay, steering's back together. And we've replaced the cables, and got the rudder feedback unit on, and got the new steering cables in, and also got the autopilot fitted and tested, and been running the electrics for the last 5 days. That's all the new B&G gear, and just really happy with how smooth it is. The helm is a lot lighter than it used to be, and everything's working a lot better than it did previously. So yeah, changed the bottle screws there, and yeah, new cables all around, and everything's definitely running much smoother. Big news, hard top's on. Well, it's not on, it's just sitting there at the moment. We spent the day today. I've got to do the non-skid, but we'll do that in a few days. Once we've got it bedded down, you can see here, this is where we're going to put the carbon tube. They're going to run from here up, 60mm carbon tubes, really nice thick carbon tubes. And then the same at the front, they'll be running inboard a little bit. And here's the beautiful Yana, the Tony Granger Trimaran. I'll just step across here and give you a bit of a view, a bit of a profile view. But yeah, it's come up really nice. Super happy with the way that hardtop's come up. It's looking excellent. I'll take you up and show you the view from the bow. It's nice because it's a fairly low profile. Yeah, chopped off 3 or 4 links on the chain. Where you get the galvanised chain attaching to the stainless, you sometimes get this link corroding. Well, not sometimes, all the time this link corrodes first. So while we had the boat out of the water and could just drop the anchor down there, I just got the grinder and cut about 3 or 4 links off so that we're back on good chain. And then yeah, have a look at that. Yeah, very, very happy with the way everything's coming up. The boat is really coming together. Had the guys from All Yacht who are doing the mast come down the other day. They've got a wooden plug, and they just tested the wooden plug to make sure that it fitted over the old mast base. I had to cut the 2 tangs off. There was 2 tangs that ran thwartships across here, and I cut them off, and then just the plug fits straight over the top. We've got these little marks here. That's where the push studs will be for the windscreen sunshade. It'll be just one big black wraparound cover that gives the cabin top windows some shade. All right, been in the engine room doing a bit of wiring, and I won't go down there. But yeah, I've been wiring a little bit of the engine, doing the engine harness and a few things. Had all the instruments running, and really happy about that. They're all running really well. I left them on for 5 days. Pretty much since we came out of the shed, I've had them on just to test everything to make sure that it's all working properly. I also had a comment on one of the videos regarding the Starlink being opposite the radar. Someone commented that the radar would interfere with the Starlink, and I've found the opposite. It actually it works fine. I did a speed test. I had the radar on and I did a speed test on the Starlink, and yeah, we're getting 150 megabits per second. I'll put a video of that over the top of me talking. And then we come inside. Yeah, everything in here is working really well. I spent, before I got the electrics, pretty much as soon as we came out of the shed, I spent 2 days underneath the nav seat here, rewiring all the NMEA backbone, and I changed it. It was the way that it was set up before. We didn't have so many instruments outside. So I added a lot more backbones to the network. We've got one now on the back bulkhead down here. So what happens is the rudder feedback unit and the autopilot connect to a backbone, and then there's a network cable that comes through here. The network cable comes under the floor, then it comes up, and then there's another backbone here, and the backbone here connects to the plotter and the 2 FFDs, or the Triton displays. Then another network cable comes down underneath the seat, through the engine room up to the helm, and then there's another backbone there which connects the autopilot controller, which is here, connects the B&G Triton, and it connects the Garmin. And then there's another network cable that runs back to another backbone under here. And then this backbone connects to the depth, speed and temperature transducer, and also the compass. And then there's also the Victron connects to it into that backbone. And then there's a network cable that goes from there up to here, and there's another backbone in here which connects the instrumentation here, which also behind there is the AIS. So the Triton display, the old GPS, and the AIS all connect on that backbone there. So it's quite a long network with a lot of backbones, but it's working a lot better than it did before. Nothing's dropping out, and it's working really well. And that's pretty much what we've been up to. So yeah, quite a bit going on. And what we're doing at the moment is, I'm just trying to think, make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, what we're doing now is we've got the carbon tubes being made up. Danny's making up the carbon tubes to go here, and he's doing small feet that go on the end of the tubes, and they will just be glued in place. We've got that going on. Tomorrow we've got the shaft and engine being aligned, and the coupling going on the end of the shaft. Also, the deep sea seal will go on. So the coupling hasn't gone on because the deep sea seal's got to go on, the dripless seal. Then the coupling will go on. Then they'll bring it up, align it with the engine, and then connect it. So that's happening. The hard top here is happening. I've got to wire the alternator and do a little bit of work down the engine room with regards to the exhaust and the air intake, and just tidy things up down there. I've got to put the fuel system back together as well, the ray core, and then plug that in. And yeah, exhaust back together. You can see the exhaust is just sitting here. This is our riser. So that connects to the engine, and then it rises up, and that's to bring the exhaust up above the waterline so that we don't get back flooding and hydraulic lock the engine. And yeah, so once we've got those things done, we're pretty much ready for launch, ready for the water. I'll have to run through all the seacocks before we go in the water. I will definitely just run through and make sure you'll double check everything. All the hose clamps are done up properly. Check the seacocks, all the through holes really. Same depth transducer, and run through all of that. Make sure that these are all nipped up tight. And also probably try and seal this down here a little bit better. We've had some rain the last few days, so I've had the caps on. These are the, you can see a little drip of water came out there when I moved it. But they've sealed really well. Really happy with the way these are working. They're super simple. They've just got a little O-ring in them. And then you just clip them on and the O-ring seals them. So if I pull that off, because it's full of water, some water will come out. So I'll leave it on. But yeah, they're working really well. Actually, I was worried they'd leak, but they've all of them have been fine. We've got 4 of them in here. This is for the port staysail sheet, starboard staysail sheet. And this is a Genoa sheeting point. And they've all been fine, no leaks. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. The view is so much nicer, and the boat feels so much bigger. I just can't believe how much change there is in the boat. You know, it's been 5 months, 5.5 months, and yeah, a lot of work replacing that bulkhead and doing this cabin top and all the other jobs that we've done. We'll make a video of everything that we've done when we're in the water, and when we have some time, I'd really like to put together a nice video that just runs through everything, sort of like a before and after video, so people can see what the boat was like before, and then I'll run through everything that we've done to change the boat and to make her a little bit better. But this has definitely created so much more space in here, And with the extra windows and the smaller mullions, it just feels huge. It's it's such a nice place to live. I've moved in up forward here. I'm sleeping up forward because I'm running a heater, a little oil heater there, and that just keeps that forward space much warmer, and that warms this space as well. I was finding it was too cold in the aft cabin, and I didn't want to have a heater down there. It's such a small space, it would have gotten too hot. So it's much easier just to live in this one area and keep it warm. But yeah, cooking on the been cooking on the gas stove, and fridges and freezers, everything's running perfectly. Also done a lot of work with the roofies, the temperature sensors and everything. I've been changing batteries and just getting rid of alarms, and just trying to get the Victron up and running. You can see the tank sensors and everything's working well. Water's full, diesel there. And boat's just working great. She's back to normal. And this will bring up the boat speed when we've, because this is now hooked into the B&G. You just get there's down under the seat here is a little turbo or servo. It's like a little Raspberry Pi computer. It's a tiny little thing. And there's now a network cable from that runs into the NMEA. So all the Victron data and even some of the NMEA data now some of the NMEA data shows up on the Victron, which will be boat speed. And then on the B&G, we can see everything that the Victron displays. We can now see on the B&G as well. So we can see all the solar regulators and everything that's connected to that network. The inverter, which is down there. You can see the green light underneath the navs. Yeah, so everything's working really well. Super stoked because, it's quite a big job adding a lot of electronics and, rewiring things. There's normally a lot of stuff you can have trouble with, but so far, fingers crossed, everything is working sweet. And I think that is because even though seems like a complex system, it's actually quite simple. We don't have a huge amount. We don't have generators and air conditioning and all the rest of it. So it's pretty much just an NMEA backbone with a multitude of devices connected to it. And as long as you have that network cable and that backbone sorted out properly, it's sweet. Works really well. Here's our remote for the autopilot. So now we can be anywhere around the boat, which is really good. And we can control the autopilot because we use the autopilot a lot. And what's nice is when you head up the Broadwater here at the Gold Coast, you can still be on autopilot and controlling the boat's heading quite easily. And then that remote for the anchor winch for the windlass has been working really well too. I was able to be down on the ground the other day and lower the anchor down with a remote, and then when I'd cut off those links, I was able to use the remote to bring the anchor back on board from the ground, which was brilliant. Normally that's a two-person operation, but thanks to having the anchor remote, I was able to do that on my own. And that's our goal, to make this boat as simple as possible to operate so that one person can sail and operate the boat. Guys, that's a quick update this week. Again, thank you so much for all your comments. Really appreciate it. I'll give you a little view of the beautiful evening sky that we've got here tonight. We've had some pretty crap weather the last few days, but tonight's really nice. But yeah, again, thank you so much for all your comments. I really appreciate them. And sorry that I'm not getting back to everyone, but I'm pretty busy here. You can see I've got the wind instrument. I've got the wind instrument attached to the push bit down there. And that's just to get it out in the sun to recharge the battery, because it's a wireless wind instrument. And it's pretty interesting, actually. I'll quickly show you that. Here I am finishing the update. I'll find something else to talk about. But yeah, you can see a little solar panel here. So this connects via Bluetooth to the base station at the nav. And it works brilliantly. I have to say, I do read a lot of comments online. I follow the B&G forums, and a lot of people have trouble with them. I've never had an issue with that in nearly 2 years now that we've had this boat. And that's the Bluetooth base station right there. So that just communicates with it on top of the mast. And it works really well. The battery, supposedly with the solar panel, lasts about 5 years. When we're in Costa Rica, we updated the battery and put in a new battery. And yeah, so far, all good. Anyway, guys, I hope everyone's having a fantastic week. Thanks a lot for following along, and thanks a lot for all your comments. And yeah, just best wishes to you all, and have a great week, and look forward to giving you another update next week. Cheers, and all the best from Spirit.